Wait. There we go.
Good. All right, I'm going to call to order the Historic District Commission regular meeting of August 6th, 2026. Sarah, could you do a roll call, please?
Baldwin.
Here.
Canarza. Is not, Dean.
Here.
Lampin.
Here.
Root.
Here.
Robertson.
Here.
And Strikers. Form.
You good?
Yeah.
Any agenda changes, additions, deletions? Everybody got one of these.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's an addition. All right, that's gonna be.
Yep, same property that's on the,
Okay. All right, and has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the special meeting held on June 9th, 2026?
Yes.
Do we hear a motion?
Motion
I'll
to
make a
approve.
motion.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Helen.
motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting held on June 9th, twenty
And
twenty-six.
second.
Second.
All right, any public comments on the agenda?
I think we have to vote on it.
yeah, Chair, do
Oh.
we need a voice
Oh,
or a roll
thank you.
call on the minutes?
We have
Just
to,
voice vote.
yeah, we got to approve it, right?
Yep.
So everyone in, let's see what he's saying. In favor of approving the minutes for June 9th, say yes. How
Yeah.
about that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks.
Any opposed?
Any opposed? Thanks. Keep me on the straight and narrow. Any unfinished business? All right. New business, Coughlin Park bike
Public
rack.
comment.
Pardon?
Public comment.
Oh. Public comments. Oh. Any public comments on the agenda?
No
Nope.
hands.
All right.
Anyone
Vote.
online? There's one.
And do we have
Online?
any?
No. Okay. All right, new business, Coughlin Park bike rack. And who do we have here to represent that?
You got me for that one.
All right, Grayson.
So this is a project that started at the high school. There was a few different students that took part in creating this bike rack that's designed like the pallet sign. And it's gone before PPW and the city council has approved it. So they just wanted to make sure that the historic district was also in favor of having the bike rack at Coughlin Park. That was the location was decided by PPW and agreed on by council. So
And council reacted positively to it.
Let's go around.
I love this entire concept that this was the brainchild of a student at school. Tessa, I actually, if I knew more of the kids and if I would have done this sooner, reviewed these notes anyway, I would have asked that she come, or I hope she has come to something. Because I love an opportunity for students to see how something that they've created goes through city government and all of that stuff, right? So I hope she came to something, or I hope somebody made somebody aware or had the opportunity, because I think that might have been a missed opportunity and maybe something we could do in the future. However, I love this. And the only thing that I thought, because I feel really strongly about people being, I can't come up with the word at this moment, but I'd love it if her name was somewhere, or like a little, I'd like to give credit for her design because I think it's interesting. And I just like the collaborative effort between the industrial arts department at school and her original vision, and to see it come to life and then see it displayed in town as art. And it feels really in keeping with the town in general. So, and the theme of, what we represent here on the art coast. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. Love it.
Yeah.
Is the palette gonna face out, or the paint palette gonna face out towards the street or towards the sidewalk?
the palette would, well, I guess that could be up for decision because the bikes can be parked on either side of it.
Yeah,
And
I wonder if
CPW
it's
doesn't-
angled But yeah, I do see your point with it having
I mean,
only the
I-
one side.
I love it so much. I wish that it was on both sides, like the
Right,
paint.
yeah.
Cause I think that I've seen the one in Douglas and I think it looks great. And I agree with everything you said. It adds so much. I just think it would be great if the paint
Yeah,
splotches were on
that's a
both
good
sides.
thought.
Scott?
Yeah, none of these are all good questions. None of these came up when this came before council. As I said earlier, council was very pleased with it. And you know, as was said earlier, just really like when the high school students get involved in things in our community, you know, that they were instrumental in the metal sign at Oval Beach. And, you know, this is another example of that kind of workmanship. So, but the questions are valid. They weren't addressed at council.
Helen?
As always, I'm gonna go back to the rules. First of all, personally, of course, I think the bike rack is beautiful. It looks great and all that, but questions are whether the bike rack is appropriately scaled for its location at Coughlin Park. Yes, it's an appropriately scaled bike rack. Materials and finish compatible with the surrounding streetscape. Yes, I mean, metal and powder coat, all that. Placement preserves the historic nature of the park and does not adversely impact significant views or pedestrian environment. No, it does not impact the views. You can still see through the lake, all the things. Installation is compatible with visual and historic content of the historic district. I think it fits in beautifully. And for those reasons, according to the rules, I'm in favor of this.
Would someone like to suggest the motion?
I can. I move to approve the applicant's request for a historic district permit for the installation of the powder coated metal CVB artsy bike rack at Coughlin Park as proposed based on the application meeting the applicable historic district guidelines set forth in 152.07.
I'll second.
Do we want to add any verbiage? And I'm just throwing this out there. Do we want to go back to the applicant and see if they'd want to add the paint on the backside?
It looks
So
like
that
it doesn't look like it's painted. It looks like it looks like it's installed. If you look at the back, of it, there's
Yes.
screws on it.
On the
Right,
piece.
right, no, I
wonder if they
know,
could
but
put
I'm
it-
wondering if they could do a mirror image, if that's important, and I'm guessing it would just need a longer bolt but I don't know.
No,
I don't know if I'm over speaking by saying that.
I think what,
Does anyone feel strongly about that?
Could we approve it and then just you go back to her and ask her if it's possible?
you know, it's an interesting point. I'm inclined to improve it as it is, but certainly I wouldn't be opposed to just saying, you know, would it be possible for the next class, because obviously we're in summer break now, for the next class to consider making, I think what Helen has described is they've done metal plates that are splotches of paint. They've powder coated those. One side has a kind of bolt on it or yeah, probably a bolt that's either welded or somehow probably welded to that
It
plate.
looks like it's just like a lug nut on the back.
Yeah, so to do another splotch of paint, if you didn't want to see the fitting, you'd probably have
Right.
to, you probably have to do that side. If that side's currently a bolt, you'd probably have to do a circular kind of nut that you could then weld on, and then it would probably have a bit of standoff distance, but maybe not much. Probably not much. And they could probably easily retrofit if they like that idea, and you basically used the paint splotches as the nuts on the
Right.
opposite side. So, I mean, I don't see any harm in saying, you know, that would be a nice little addition for the next class as a side project.
Did Vince Heiser, did you communicate with him, the teacher at all?
No, so this was actually DPW that was kind of heading this one, but
Oh, got it.
Mark's actually out of town this week for he has military leave currently.
Okay.
But I do think that we could definitely talk with them, and I think we'll probably start by talking with Ashley at the CVB, because I think it was initially her that was working with the school on it.
Ashley Siebelink?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So how do we capture that outside of this motion?
I mean, is that something administratively you can feed back just to the folks? I mean, that, you know, to me, it's not a must have. It'd be nice to do it. Maybe it is a fun little side project if you know, if they're looking.
I'm
for
guessing they already have probably like the dye, you know what I mean? Because they did it once.
hard to say, you know, they possibly, I'm guessing they may have laser cut it. I think they have a.
Right.
I think they have a laser cutting machine, you know,
They do,
in the metal shop, so that's probably, maybe they have a program.
like the program, right?
Yeah, it could be.
Like they probably already have the specs,
Yeah, I mean, it's,
you know?
it
So
seems
it would
like it
just
would,
be the
yeah,
additional material. I don't mean to like drag this out. I just thought.
Okay. Well, I guess we can say it's noted.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, because the
perfect.
one in Douglas, the way it is, like you don't really see the back, but this one is very visible from the front and the back.
Is there a direction you guys would prefer? I don't, as far as I know, no other committee has had a preference on that, so.
no, it didn't come up in council.
No?
I guess I'd leave it to DPW's discretion on which,
Placing.
you know, you've got a public access, you know, of the sidewalk. And I don't have a overhead view to know, you know, how that's gonna, how the rear tires of the bikes would poke out the sidewalk or indeed into the street. That's the
But
old
the DP,
part. Yeah.
the DPW has that responsibility, correct? To make
Yeah.
sure that it's correct and not obstructing the foot.
My guess
paths.
is they'd want it to be street facing. Would you
Okay.
think?
Yeah. Again, I think I'd stick to our remit.
Yeah.
You know, on the historic district aspects of this and, yeah.
Okay.
Approved with that side note. And I would be happy to reach out to Vince and Ashley. So I see Vince a lot.
Okay, perfect, yeah.
That's fine, yeah.
So no additional conditions, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Scott, you seconded it?
Yes.
Yes.
Shall we vote? All in favor, say yes.
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 Those opposed? It is passed. Good?
Good.
All right. Next is 326 Water Street renovations. Would you like to come up to the podium and walk us through your project? Introduce yourselves and let us know what you do.
I'm Bruce Brown. I'm the contractor remodeler for the client. They are looking to replace the windows and siding on the current house due to rotten issues and paint peeling. The property will continue to be used as just as a residence vacation home. The front gable, they would like to change the look of it. So they are proposing to remove the front gable over the entryway and make that into a flat roof.
Look that up there.
Remove the existing wood siding and install vinyl siding. I got samples of that, but it doesn't look like typical vinyl. It looks more like actual wood. Whitewash or lime wash the stone facade. And replace the windows with Marvin Ultimate windows in ebony color. And replace all the existing trim and soffits with Boral product, which is a fly ash product, which doesn't rot. Can be ground contact, and that would be painted appropriate colors to be match that. And paint the deck railings the same color as the new siding. And install new black gutters, half round black. And in front there would just be a solid single filament going through the work that would be painted white. And replace the shingles on the roof with basically the same thing that's on there, be a Landmark Pro more black architectural shingle.
Okay, who'd like to go first?
I can start.
Sure.
I have several thoughts on what has been presented as it relates to our guidelines, but I am curious, because I feel that this house has a lot of architectural integrity. And, I know that we have done this in the past where we vote to reclassify a structure as contributing, even though it was previously not considered contributing, prior to approving any application. So my suggestion would be that we re-vote on this property. If that's possible,
Or whether it's.
whether it's
contributing or
contributing or
not.
non-contributing.
I don't believe that's our purview in this meeting. We're here to approve this structure based on the current non-contributing status and the series of changes that they're proposing.
Okay.
Would it be helpful if Mr. Moore went through the details of what?
Well,
for the-
yeah, I was gonna suggest it might, because there's so many things.
Yeah.
If we have one person go through their list of things, it might not be the most
Well,
efficient way to go through it. I'd like to just start with siding.
Right, that's.
Let's
that's what
start
I've
with
done, yeah.
siding as number one, because that's everywhere, right? And, it's probably.
so it's wood siding now?
Yes.
Well, it's a mix, because I looked at it, it's a mix of wood siding and compressed wood with grain on some of the lower levels on the water side.
Correct.
And there's a mixed bag of that on the patio area. And so it's kind of this from the brickwork up or the facade up, that's all wood siding. And all the trim is wood siding, is that correct? Okay. So, when we say replacement of siding, just for clarification, you're saying we would replace all of the siding on all of the surfaces on the building and any ancillary,
Yes. Yes.
okay, everything. Okay. So let's talk about siding. You want to pass yours around? And then we can have anybody who wants to comment on what the historical guidelines are for siding in a historic district. It's pretty clear.
It's very clear that there's no vinyl siding allowed in the historic district.
Right. No vinyl siding allowed.
What about 4L?
Yes, yes. There's many other composite materials around
Mhm.
that will give you the same kind of exposure. Yeah.
This is the acrylic.
Cool stuff.
It's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, for exterior boral. Fine.
And that would be corners.
Yes.
So that's technically wood, it's just composite wood?
Yes.
It's like
It's
hardy board, right?
It's fly ash. Believe it or not, it's, we put it on our place,
Oh.
next to Coughlin. It's just a very dense, waterproof material. But yeah, oral is fine.
Mhm.
So let's take notes as we go along here. Does anyone have any other questions about the actual siding material? It has to be smooth side.
Yep.
No grain.
Okay.
On anything.
Yep.
Okay. And I
And
think,
are we paying attention or noticing? So the most recent repairs on this house, were in 2012, is that correct? I think that's what it said in the
I mean, like the
application.
major,
Right, so it looks like there was some major renovations done in 2012.
I believe so, yes.
And in that list of repairs, there was roofing that was replaced, siding that was updated. They did that whole exterior.
There's pictures, aren't there? in the
Yeah,
packet?
there's pictures.
I can.
So the guidelines also say, that you replace like for like, you repair, you know, versus removing a wood product.
Right.
You repair first always before we just replace. So is there a reason that you're replacing it? Is there
Yes, because
damage?
they've repaired every year ever since the paint has been peeling on the wood siding and stuff. So they've been repairing every year and they want to try to have more permanent solution.
Well, there's always upkeep and maintenance when you purchase a home in the historic district. So that's, I mean, that's common knowledge.
Yes.
Oh.
Mhm.
So is it gonna be black
The house,
color?
no, it's that siding color, this.
Oh, it's that color?
That, no, that other one that's floating around here somewhere, that one will, that dark.
Oh.
But when discussing like for like, there's also an element of architectural integrity that needs to be considered too. So the front gable or, you know,
Correct.
you, again, you replace like for like. And that's not what's being proposed here.
Correct.
The architectural integrity of the house, no, I understand, but the architectural integrity of the house is being completely compromised in the renovation or in the proposed changes. And part of that is the front modification.
Yeah, it looks
So it's, I mean, that's, I guess that's maybe the next thing. That's not compliant with the guidelines, which
Which one are you talking about?
this front
Oh, just the,
to this. So we go from this to this.
So door changes,
Yeah.
shutters are removed.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Should we keep working on the big stuff? Like, I was thinking windows next.
Sure.
And then say, do we have enough that we can say we understand the windows? Or do we want to just work on the whole front facade and go through the details of that?
Well, since we're sticking to exterior, so we talked about the siding, we don't approve vinyl. And what's there should be repaired before it's replaced,
Mhm.
If,
like for like.
I'm sorry, and I hate to go back to this, but I'm still hung up on Megan's initial comment. I'm not sure that it's not under our purview to change the classification between contributing or not contributing, and I'm not sure how far we want to go down a road for picking out materials. If, I don't know if it can be changed to contributing, how much does that change our discussion of materials? Does
I think it drastically changes it.
So that's where I'm hung up on. I actually think, and I don't know this, I would need a ruling on that. Like, I would hate for us to sit here and waste everyone's time talking about, you know, materials and windows and all that. If there's a motion, or not a motion, but a desire to talk about this as being a contributing resource versus not contributing, is that part of our purview? I think it might be. Are you convinced it's not?
I can't comment on that. I've done no work. It's not on our
I
agenda.
have not either. Yeah, I don't know.
Don't know what the process is to determine if a building is contributing or non-contributing, but I do know that it's a pretty long.
My understanding
staking
is that
process.
when Pike Street was done,
Uh-huh.
that was initially non-contributing. And then it was reclassified. Again, I have this memory from just following along in different city business. Was Pike Street initially non-contributing, and then it got moved over to contributing, and then it made difference on there.
On the renovations.
Am I remembering that correctly, or is that incorrect, Megan?
No, I think that's correct from my understanding as well. That Old Pike was previously non-contributing.
Pike Street, yeah. Right, and then it was moved over to contributing, but I
And
think
Tim
that was,
mentioned that in one of our recent meetings.
that's what I'm
Yes.
feeling like.
Do we need to table this?
I think we need to table.
I
it.
think we need to table it.
There's a lot to consider here, and there's just so much to go down, and the idea that we would
Yeah,
start picking away at what the, you know,
yeah, I don't think it's fair to the applicant or to staff to whipsaw back and forth on various changes unless we kind of get a ruling on this fundamental
I
question.
agree.
Mhm.
So if you table it, the clock starts. We have a certain amount of time to respond, or how does that work?
You guys can, we can have it back at your next meeting. That would give
I think that
me enough time
Mark-
personally to
Yeah,
confirm and pull together the.
You understand what we're trying to get our head.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually reading through the
Okay.
state legislature.
and if it makes a difference to the applicant, I mean, I think we can find out too. Sometimes we do a special meeting. If it makes a difference, I don't want to hold anybody up, especially when it's our question. I hate to, you know, and I would be certainly willing to to come to a special meeting if it came to that or whatever, but I think that
Yeah,
we should
that's-
be clear on that before we,
Right, I agree.
This is a very visible house,
yeah,
you know, downtown and,
got to get it right.
yeah.
Yeah, right, it's part of the waterfront as well, actually, so, yeah.
Right.
Chair, I'll make a motion to table this till the next meeting.
And if we table it, do we need to say why?
I can say why, just to give staff time to research if we need to, what was the language you used?
We would vote to reclassify
If we need to vote to.
non-contributing to contributing.
Okay,
Structure.
yeah.
Just because of the level of architectural integrity that it has for that really important street. It's visible on the water side and, you know. I
But what we
mean,
don't know is the outcome of that determination.
That's right.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's,
we're second.
I need a second.
I'll second that.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Noes.
Sorry.
Is there anything that I need to do between now and then, or is? it
More
just-
dimensions, more detail, more clarity on,
And what I would recommend to the firm, which is Via or whoever's doing the specifications, they should do their due diligence in reading our guidelines.
Mhm.
So I mean,
Okay,
even
'cause
there's a
those things-
wealth of information in the guidelines that were just submitted with the application that we add that basically negate almost every selection that's currently been specified.
Mhm.
So that would be what I guess you could take back to your client.
Okay.
I mean, we started to go down that road with the siding, so that should give you
Right.
a sense of,
Mhm.
you know,
Can't widen the windows too. right?
No.
or the window, yeah.
and everything that you're proposing that you believe meets the guidelines after you respin it with your client. Make sure you include all the cut sheets that you want to use, including the doors,
Right, I agree
sliders.
the window specs now, but we didn't have those in the packet. And so oftentimes folks, when they do a very thorough submission, that will be in the packet because we do need to review those prior to the meeting.
Yep. And just to clarify, the existing windows are aluminum on the outside, the current.
Which is
They're not-
typical. They would be wood with aluminum cladding.
Correct, and that's what the new one.
That's
would
what
be.
we approve all the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's,
But it's like for like, so size.
Okay,
And so they can't be modified, the openings.
okay.
But you can read that. in
Unless,
the guidelines.
I just want to get clarification, unless if we get if you guys move forward with the next classification,
That's right.
then it can be altered, is that
No.
my understanding? No. It just
Less altered, right?
Mm-hmm,
less altered,
mm-hmm.
all right.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. All right. You can use it. Next item is 630 Holland Street. Fence.
Our applicant is online, I believe.
And I think we have the applicant online.
Pages that start. Never mind, sorry.
And who do we have online?
Jim Beckley.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Would you go ahead and describe your application, please?
Sure. Jim Beckley, I'm the owner at 630 Holland. And I replaced the fence that was in the location with another fence that's covering the entire front yard. And I kept the same, I think it's called setback, the same distance that the prior fence was. And try to keep the same height and the same look as the fence that we were replacing.
All right. Leah, would you like to start?
Um,
And then Grayson, if you've got any other background on this, because this is a little more intricate than just this
Yeah, so it was originally a wooden fence, it was replaced with vinyl. One thing to note from a zoning perspective is that a front yard fence can only be 3 feet high. The previous wooden fence was 3.5 feet, but it would have been an existing non-conformity. However, because it was completely removed, the new fence would need to be 3 feet unless it was something you guys felt was really contributing to that property and like the resource there. Then you could approve the replacement of that, but it would still need to be approved by the zoning board of appeals then.
What about the material? It was wood and now it's
Fine,
vinyl. And it should be wood.
per your guidelines.
So I think it's pretty straightforward. The height has to be reduced to 3 feet and he should use wood fencing.
Yeah, I agree with the commissioner in that I would be very hesitant to allow a precedent to be set. We had an issue with fencing just in our last meeting. And once again, we want to be consistent and we don't want to create a precedent for fences to continue to, I think, what is more likely to happen, to continue to grow. So yeah, I agree with Commissioner Root.
I think it might be helpful too if you guys are willing to approve some sort of fencing to be replaced there. If you speak to if you're comfortable with the expansion of it. Or if you would just like the previous fence dimensions replaced.
Well, if this is a retroactive approval, we're here to approve the fence that is seen, correct? That's either to approve or deny what is now shown,
The lower picture.
the lower picture.
Yes.
So, I think we need to focus on that and what requirements or guidelines don't meet our historic district
I agree with that.
requirements. So,
I think, well, yeah, I think you're right. And I think what we've kind of just started to circle around is it's the material's not compliant and the height is not compliant. The location of it, I'm not sure that is contrary to any of our guidelines in terms of the extension of it, and the completion of it with the gate. I'm not sure that's counter to or even within our purview, but I think it is within our purview, the material and the height.
And it should be noted, the proper order would be to have started with approval from the smaller original fence than what we're doing now, but here we are. So I agree with what has been stated so far by the board members about materiality being non-compliant and the height being non-compliant.
Leah?
I already
She did.
We did, but
Okay.
yeah, I think it makes more sense to have a full fence than half the fence.
Okay. Do we have someone who'd like
Ellen,
to make the move?
I am going to say I move to deny the applicant's request for a historic district permit for the retroactive replacement of the front yard fence at 630 Holland Street based on the application not meeting the applicable historic district guidelines set forth in code section 152.07, including consideration of the fence's design materials and compatibility with the character of the historic district.
Okay, discussion? Anything else? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Who's the second? I'm sorry.
The nays?
Oh, did somebody second? I second.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. I'd get better at this over time.
So I think, I'm sorry, did we finish voting?
Yeah.
So I think that just to give the applicant information that obviously the fence has got to come down and then to come back to the historic district and to zoning before you start again and talk about the height that you want. I mean, zoning, it's got to go to height. Historic district goes to materiality and then, I mean, in the rest of that, but retroactively to come back with a vinyl fence that's too tall. I'm sorry. It's just a non-starter for our committee. I apologize, but that's just the way it really is.
Got it.
All right,
Yeah, I think that's the correct process.
okay. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
All right, next is 249 Mason Street fence.
It's another fence.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
So we're trying to finish building Rome at 249 Mason Street. We started 2 years ago with the deck, not understanding that the fence wouldn't be included, or I would have certainly come before you for that. But we certainly wouldn't have thought that, since we also had to go through site plan review and architect drawings and the building permits and fire department approvals, are all those things. So we would certainly not have ignored the Historic Society had we known that it needed to come again. But that's what we're trying to do, is finish up the enclosure of it. We didn't know exactly when we started it before, because it was a creative process. We knew we needed the space, the deck. We had it done, but we didn't know how to enclose it at that time. Since then, we do have to deal with a much more busy parking lot because of the way that it went from donated for schools to paid parking now. And so it gets to be quite crazy out there. We also have a lot of noise issues since the brewery went in. So originally I would have dreamt more of having like an iron fence type of thing that would have been much more elegant than a wood fence. But those contributing factors really changed that ability, and the odors, because of their big thing that blows loudly, and when you sit anywhere there, you smell trash everywhere when it gets blowing. So Coast 236 is certainly struggling with that as well. Because if you have dinner on their back patio, you smell trash every time the blower turns on. So that's why we also tried to enclose it just a little bit more securely than I might have had it been a different scenario.
Okay.
The front, I'm still not happy with. We did put this up, and so it is existing. If you wanted to take a peek at it, I think I might have sent pictures along. I still see maybe we're non-conforming. So when Tim and I originally talked, he explained a lot of differences that we didn't need.
Could you hold on one moment, please? It just kicked me out of my Zoom. Sorry. It's not even letting me start the meeting.
When you say trash, you're saying from Noble Twist? All the
Their
dumpsters, okay.
dumpsters are there. Yeah, you've got
I understand.
4 or 5, you know,
It's all in the back. I understand how it's congregated.
Go there.
Is this a rendering?
That was an AI rendering.
I like that.
I know, right? We tried to do as much as we could. We curved the fences a little on the corners, but I still think we should have it be
It says
open
we're-
to the front. I think it'd be much more welcoming. But we wanted to get it up so that we could, not knowing we had this extra step, we just wanted to get it finished so that we could actually use it at some point in our lifetime. And so that's why we didn't close it. There are structures there, though, that are not like a normal front yard of a person's house. We're dealing with curbs this high from the prior drive-through
There we
bank.
go. Okay.
Those you know,
I think
those
we're
things are there.
good.
You're back. Okay.
Sorry, no, you're fine. Go ahead.
So there's just some different things. So we did the best, in my opinion, not a bad design. Feels a little high, looking at it from the road, looking in, a little forbidding. My goal would probably be to maybe find vintage fencing, but it didn't get too crummy looking. A lot of it's old. I actually have 3 or 4 types in storage at my handyman's facility, but none of them are the right height or style, in my opinion. So that would be my goal. Otherwise, we need to go with something new, perhaps.
So you're thinking get this approved and then eventually try to replace it with something else?
I'm happy with the way it is for now. If I need to be, if that's what you all like the best, I think it could be much more attractive personally, but that takes time to find the right thing, the right size and height. And security, you know, we have a lot of people spend the night on our patio because they like to sleep there. So we do like to keep it somewhat secure. I mean, anyone can climb over, but yeah. Anyway, that's me. I'm gonna talk all day. So unless they ask questions.
Okay, anyone else? Megan or Leah?
I can go. So, you know, we just kind of did a case study on the last one that you were here for on fencing. And so, the guidelines state that the fence has to be 36 inches high, no higher than. The materiality, does comply with it being wood. So the issue here is the height.
Not the style in any sense to you then, not that it would be metal or wood.
Well, we weigh in on materiality and compliance with regard to materiality. And so, we don't usually give a, consultation on design while we're here. In my personal opinion, I don't love it. But that's not really within our purview, so. But the height is not in compliance.
Well, the height is the same as all the other surrounding courtyards and Coast 236 and the new thing at the back of Noble Twist is about that same height, maybe within an inch or two of it. Same thing with the fence that's all along the back of the building where we all park that separates us from Sandbar.
But that was there, correct?
Not Noble Twist wasn't. Noble Twist is new.
No, Noble Twist always had a fence there when it was the
May-
old French place. It did.
Not the front, I'm talking about the back parking lot area. They have all new fencing there to, for trash surrounds and things
Have
like
that
that.
in my head.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about when I see, when we look at the front of this, it's get a
I
6
don't
foot
need it to
wood
come
fence
before
now.
the.
Well, the back is, but not the
Would
front.
that
The
have
front is
needed to
only a
come before the
4-foot fence,
committee?
but it's sitting up
If
on
they
top
did
of
something, we
concrete
didn't know
barriers.
I'm looking at Grayson's
Yeah.
commentary.
I can,
Located in front yard limited to 3 feet, while side and rear may have to be 6.
Right.
Yeah.
and I can provide a little bit of
We
context.
Go ahead.
consider that to be front.
Yeah, that's side. Now, the definition went through there. The side is on the, what street is that? Not Butler.
Mason?
Yeah. That's a side, and then the one in the parking lot is the rear. That's what it was. I think that was the
Yeah, we
way.
were talking about it earlier because I was confused by that. Since the address is Mason, you would assume it's a front.
But would we, this is such a unique property that we can all say this is a yard. Would we think about this maybe differently than an
Well-
actual yard?
Well, clearly, it's a wonderful shop. I've been there several times. It saves me during the Christmas season innumerable times when I'm forgot to go shopping for Christmas. But I always consider the front yard to be where the side
Yeah.
yard is. That's where the entrance to the bank is. The parking lot, I would not, I'm struggling to see how the front yard is considered to be the front yard.
Simply due to the zoning definition of it, and it,
Okay.
like I mentioned in the report, it doesn't take into account a parking lot essentially acting as a front yard.
Right.
And that parking lot is part of I know that you rent the space. That's part of the owner's space. That's the parking lot for this building.
They have leased out to Noble Twist.
Yes.
Yes.
Noble Twist. has
Mhm.
been-
Yeah, Noble Twist now manages the parking.
But this is owned, this is the same property that I'm seeing circled in blue, or,
The whole block really belongs to AMK.
okay. If it,
Which I will just say that is part of the reason why those other fences in that area back there are allowed to be that tall, because those are technically their rear yards, because they abut your parcel's parking lot rather than the parking lot being the front yard.
but the front yard, if the fencing, so let's just say the front, let's for argument's sake, let's just say the front yard is Griffith Street, right? So the fencing that goes around the patio now in the front yard could still be 6 foot because of the huge setback now.
Yes,
Zoning wise,
so-
I'm asking for zoning purposes.
Yeah, so there can be a slight way around it. The setback or like the end of the front yard will stop at the beginning of that foundation.
Okay,
So if they push it back just slightly, then it can go up to the 6 feet and be part of the side yard. If that is helpful. Can you pull up?
What's that?
Can you pull this up?
Yeah, bring that up.
Is that what you're asking?
The Eagle Appeal?
Is that in the packet?
No, it's just that one we have.
What are you talking about?
You don't have this. Send it to me.
What are we bringing up?
I say I did print out a sheet for you guys.
Yeah. This one.
So where it jogs out their building, where
Yep.
the drive-through was,
Yep.
if they go to the Griffith side, that corner there, pull it in just a little bit to the left or the west, it'll be in the side yard. The front yard ends where the building starts.
Oh,
Okay. Anybody else have questions?
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't want to get outside my lane as a commissioner in terms of, what we can and can't approve, but I walked by it today on the way to this meeting, and I agree with Commissioner Lampin. It does not I mean, I think the creative reuse of the drive-through is wonderful. I think it's great. I frankly think that type of wood fencing, is doing that building a disservice, frankly. I think it could be such a much more inviting spot. But that once again, that is subjective, and that's probably not within my purview as a commissioner to think in those terms. So all I can really say at this point is, again, I can't see us creating a precedent unless the side yard piece allows that height of fence.
Your guidelines do allow for fencing to not infringe on or obstruct historic setbacks, vistas, streetscapes, or neighborhood continuity. So you have some flexibility there. But
Has this all been approved by zoning, fire, planning, all the things?
Yes,
Mhm.
everything.
not the fence itself.
Not the fence, but the entire project has.
Well, fence is part of the project.
Yes, it is. In all the thing we submitted. Yes, that's true.
So who would zoning, does this fence have to go to zoning still, even if
And they did
regardless of what
submit
happened
that
today?
application.
So going back to the historic guidelines, is there anything on this fence that does not meet the historic guidelines? Is it approvable as is? I'm trying to clarify.
I'm
Opinions,
still on the
desire.
height. And it sounds like the height is still too high because of its location. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Which part of the fence? All of the fence or just the?
that
front?
whole side.
The Mason Street. You guys got me
No,
confused.
the
I didn't have
Griffith.
pictures in front of me.
Yep, sorry, the
You're saying
Griffith side
the street side of Mason.
is good for zoning wise. And then the Griffith side, that's all the way at the end of the parking lot.
Okay, you're
is-
saying to the back of the building or
Yes.
to the front?
This elevation,
Griffith side.
Nope, the other side.
others,
well,
The one closest to the street on Mason Street does abide by zoning rules. The one,
The least attractive.
Right.
Thank you.
So-
well, and you know what I think, I sort of think what's going on. First of all, I walked by tonight too, and I looked inside and it's stunning inside. It looks gorgeous. The outside does not. And I know the things that you do and you want everything to be gorgeous. So I think the fact that it's tall and it doesn't look good are not two things. Like even this rendering that you did on AI where you curved it and whatever, it looks so much better there. And I am apt to, I don't think that this is front yard, side yard, whatever. It's a commercial, parking lot. But I think combined with the fact that we don't think it fits in and it's not attractive to the fact it's too tall, and being too tall almost makes it.
And part of the reason of the tall part of it is when you're inside,
Mhm.
you're 2 feet higher
Yes.
and
right.
the
Yeah.
fence doesn't feel high inside.
So it's a very unique property. in
Yeah,
that
you
way.
could see, it's
And from-
rusting on the
and from a
deck.
safety
yeah.
point of view, I will just tell you, you get it too low up high.
Yeah.
When you're up here, you get a child that'll tumble over
Yeah.
because they will, at a certain level. So then that means I have to figure out other safety ways around the top to keep a child that won't meet the criteria. And I will be frank, I don't like the wood. I'm the first person that will tell you it was to get it so that we could actually finish putting things together where people wouldn't sleep on our furniture while we got it together. I see more of a much more attractive front that it is inviting that you can actually see it.
Yeah,
I come back to the rules all the time. So one of the things that I always have struggles with is historic approving something before it gets to zoning, right? Like, why am I looking at a fence and talking about the height when I think zoning should take care of the height, or, planning should take care of a waterfront thing? Like, I think historic has its place, But is our place really to talk about the height of that fence at this point? And maybe it is, and I'm confused, but I feel like it's a zoning issue.
And a number of the things that we dealt
Hang on 1
with.
second, if you would.
Oh,
I
I'm
just
so
want, I want
sorry.
to hear from our commissioner, our
Mhm.
director.
I do think that there is a way that historic fits into this now, but there's also other options for you guys because this was this initial project was part of a site plan approval. They could do a site plan amendment and come back with just the fence,
Okay.
which gives the planning commission the authority to approve a fence up to 10 feet on that side yard, which is where the parking lot is, which could help address those safety concerns because as you mentioned, you have that raise up, but the fence has to be measured from the ground as opposed to the deck that's there.
So, so setting personal preference aside, is the only question in your mind for our commission to be whether the materiality fits and the squishier part is conforming with the neighborhood. Am I correct in that? Like, do we have those two questions before us and that's it?
I mean, streetscape?
The street, like, is this, so the one that's easy is, does it fit with, our guidelines as far as the materials that are acceptable? Because that's a
Yeah.
up or down, we can figure that out. We've got rules on that. But then the squishier part is, does it conform with the aesthetic of the neighborhood?
Correct.
So I think that those, to my mind, are the two questions before us,
Mhm.
setting aside the height of the fence and, what's the front yard, what's the side yard, like, let's not get into that stuff because
Yeah.
that can be decided by zoning and probably
Agreed.
should.
Okay, well, to Helen's.
So if we ask those two questions, am I overlooking anything other than those two questions if we keep it?
Yes, I'm having
Okay.
Sarah pull up your guidelines right now.
Well, this is helpful then if we're allowed to go into this sort of realm. I mean,
Let's go look at them.
this to me, it looks out of place attached to that building. It looks like what we commonly see in the residential neighborhoods, and this is an area where there's a B and B here, there's a B and B being renovated here, another restaurant here, this area is becoming more and more part of it is sort of transition-y, but it's not that transition-y. And this very much looks like something that I would expect to see in a residential area. And I just see so many opportunities in this one, all the details on the old bank building. There are so many things that could be played off of, but none of them are pine boards.
Can you not use the patio until it gets approved?
I don't know. We haven't tried to use the patio. We're just trying to finish the patio.
I agree with what Scott says. I think it's beautiful on the inside, but the outside.
Part of it is it will age down to the weathered gray, which.
I don't think that it's gonna do that.
Well, it did
I mean-
already, so the deck.
But I
has been
think,
there.
I think there's gonna be a lot of inconsistency in the way it ages and it's gonna look, I don't think it's gonna do it any justice or good. From what I know about what wood does, I don't see that being charming.
And I just wanted to let you guys know, I pulled up the guidelines here, just so you guys could kind of take a closer look at the compatible fencing and height of fences for the relation to the historic district and obviously your guidelines.
I think to Scott's point and what has already been said tonight too, I understand why. It makes sense why you're trying to do what you're doing, but it's not the right product for the location and the building. It's not the right aesthetic.
And I feel now that I'm looking at these guidelines, and thank you for this, Grayson. I think under C3, fencing shall be permitted contingent upon the appearance and appropriateness in relation to the building and the historic district. I have to say, this appears completely out of relation with the architecture that went into the old bank building. It's completely, it speaks to nothing in the bank building architecture. And apparently that is within our purview, regardless of front, side, rear.
I agree. I think we should make a motion not to approve. is my recommendation. So then what
I would
does,
ask
what
for
is that?
input, since
look like?
everyone, we're all being frank here, what do you want out there? You tell me, because your opinion is different than the next person or the next person about what is fitting. I don't agree that it's fitting, but does the whole fence come down because none of it's tolerable? Or do we fix the front? That would be my first question.
I think the color, I think if you stained it, it could potentially look better. I mean, I think if you were asking what materiality, I mean, I'm not sure. I know exactly, but I even think with this, I mean, this, I think a different color, but that looks more inviting.
I mean, we'd have to once again see it at the right height. There potentially, and once again, I can't, it caught my eye for sure when I walked by the meeting, but there's this other bit about safety, and I agree that you don't want people falling off the deck. I completely respect that part, but now I'm wondering with people coming in and out of the parking lot, if the fence is solid and you can't see through it, if that's gonna create an issue
Well,
of sight lines, and I don't know the
Put a
answer to
big
that.
Convex mirror up, that actually,
Okay.
does give total view every which way. And it's not any different than every other alley, side street in any way, if it could have been a building there, but instead it's the fence. And again, I'm not fighting any of this, I just want to get it done. So I don't want to put it on hold and not know what I'm supposed to do for the next 30 to 60 days. I would like a lot of clarity because this is where it's coming from. I need solutions.
I think it's perfectly acceptable for you to gather some thoughts, and we have had other people submit that to, members of the board. Like, I know people have consulted with Tim prior to submitting an application just to get his thoughts on it and feedback, and that would be my recommendation to you, is to gather some things and present it. It's clear from the interior of your store and what you carry and what you've done on the inside that you have great taste, and I fully
100%.
believe that you can do it. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not as skillful with my eye as our chair is, but I'm trying to channel our chair who's not here. I would look at the color that you have. I would look at the thickness of the columns you have. I would look at that. Do you call that a dental detail above the roof line? I would look at those things. And I mean, I'm obviously I'm the worst person to advise somebody on interior design or exterior design, but I think if you look at things that speak to the building, and
A really good example of that would be the folks at the new B&B.
your neighbors on the corner.
They looked at the architectural detailing, and that's what their deck railing
But they're
speaks to.
conforming and I'm non-conforming, so that is another part.
Sure, I
My thought
understand.
process was, I just wanted to get it up and then start making it fine tuned. And again, I'm a visual person. Everyone that knows me would know that. I'm terrible at drawings. The architect drawings mean nothing to me other than for the people that get to observe them, but from a design point of view. So I struggle with it. To me, to see, I understand architecture and dental moldings and all of those things. I work, every project I ever work on, I make it be true to what it is. I'm not satisfied either with it, but I feel conflicted on the vagueness of what is acceptable. I don't expect you to tell me tonight, but I find it very frustrating for people that aren't doing the work to have such a strong opinion without stronger definitions, okay? Because this can be taken many, many different ways.
I think
depending
the
on-
challenge here is that you want it to be full privacy.
No, not necessarily. I think the front should be, people can look in and get excited about what a gorgeous space.
Okay.
I would almost like it to look like the garden next door, on the
Yeah,
other
I was
side.
gonna say, what
I'm
about
great
metal?
with that. It's just that it's frustrating for me to try to give it when I've already invested tons of energy and labor and all these things for people to say, I don't like it. I'm not finished
So
with it.
let's back up a little bit on
Yeah.
that, though. Nobody asked you to put in the tons of time and energy and money. Actually, you're here in a retroactive application. This should have never been
Not-
done.
Not
for
because
historic
of my,
district.
but I did go before the historic district, but the word fence didn't get put in, which is fine, but that was not that, so I object to that as well. I find that a little
I think at the
strong.
time we approved that, we had not said much about the fence. It had not been presented. So this is
Because
the first time.
we talked about floating planters because we
Yep.
didn't know what it would end up looking
Right.
like, so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
And I mean, maybe it's planters with arborvitae.
You can have planters inside all you want, but outside you have to have some kind of safety from cars running up on people having a party as well. So I either have to, and I'm open-minded. I'm just frustrated tonight, you guys.
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
For those that don't know me, I'm just frustrated. Do I put an iron fence all the way around it? Well, then you become looking a little bit like a prison. You run that risk. If you make it too short, people fall over. I think the front should be open personally. The whole front should be open of the whole drive-through. So even on the side partly, that very side section there, I think that it should be some type of metal fencing of some sort. So that you look in from the street and you like want to go poke your nose in over there and enjoy it. But it's not open to the public, so then it becomes something that they have to then ask to use.
yeah, and I think we're all sympathetic to your frustration. But we also try not to be overly prescriptive, like you must do it this way, this way, this way.
Right,
We
we just
want to
can't-
give you the freedom to
can't
do
do
that, and we want to try to stay within these general guidelines. And, I think what we're focused on has been height and its impact on the streetscape, because it is a departure from anything that we've seen kind of, in front of an evocative building like this one, that's that's got a lot of historic character going on. So, but it's not our job, unfortunately, to say you must do it this way and then you're good. I know that's frustrating, but I think we've given you sort of a steer on things like color, maybe some things that the existing building kind of tells you about itself.
This is a lot different. It is a lot different already from what you're seeing in that photograph right there, just so you know. All the, and I don't say it's satisfactory. I'm just telling you, we kept playing with.
Right.
These are all curved on the ends, so they're soft. This comes curved over here for the gate, right? There's a gate there and it comes down, so it gets closer and closer to the photo of the 8-act photo that I showed. And again, well, I sat there the other day and I said, I think it has to be opened with some type of metal fencing up there.
Okay.
But I also need input from the back of the back. If you're saying the whole thing has to come down, then I have to, because the heights don't work, or you don't like the style, then I have to design the whole thing again, not just the front of the building.
Right.
Are we holding this conversation to just this section of the fence? Because that's a good question.
And I have one more. I absolutely feel that these have got to be, whatever we end up doing back here, these have to be so they don't stick up like 4 posts sticking. That's how it feels right now when you're there and when you're looking at the photo. These need to be made somehow more natural to the whole.
Or I think they're integrated into the fencing.
Well, they're they're inside it.
Right, but you could, so it's almost like a stairway with an intermediate newel, and then you have a run of fencing in between the newel, right?
Well, you have other issues there. You have big concrete barriers there, then that they're kind of on part of it. And then we had to fill in the middle.
Right, I'm
Yes.
just giving you,
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
looks like it was stuck onto,
Okay.
those.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
It's just,
Yes,
it's like you're trying to cover up a, area that no one can go in, like an abandoned building. You're trying to board up windows or something is what this is giving.
So I think Scott said probably clarity, that it's a streetscape issue, that it's not compatible with our
Yes.
streetscape that we currently have along that street.
I'm good with that.
Mason.
I agree. I don't disagree.
So it feels like we're ready for
Right. A motion.
someone to suggest the motion. Page 46.
46.
At the bottom.
I can make the motion. I move to deny the applicant's request for a retroactive historic district permit for the installation of a fence with a maximum height of 67 inches associated with the outdoor amenity area at 249 Mason Street as presented based on the application. In the
Second.
meeting, the applicable historic district guidelines set forth in 52.07.
Okay,
Do I have a second?
second,
Second.
those in favor to deny? Say, I gotta do this right.
Those in favor, say yes.
Those, yeah,
Aye.
those in favor to deny, say yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Those opposed?
Just
All right.
one last thing while the applicant's here, just, 'cause I'm very sympathetic to the frustration. And Grayson, you maybe can help us with this. Obviously, this is not an issue on public property, because the city has approved, outdoor dining. And people have used all sorts of kind of creative solutions to create temporary, places where people can sit outside, on former city parkings or city parking spots. Is any of that applicable to maybe helping this applicant in the short term to give her some more time to sort of refine her permanent design? Is there anything we could share with her to help her just, for the short term? Because, I'm sympathetic that you want to get this kind of done, but maybe you do want, and you communicated just that you do want to maybe tweak it and kind of come up with something that's really, that you're happy with as well.
Mhm.
Is there anything that we can share that might be helpful to her from what we're doing with outdoor dining?
I'll have to look into it a little bit more just because outdoor dining is specifically written in the way that it's for the right of way and in a temporary manner.
Precisely.
And a lot of the residential commercial zoning is written for more of a permanent.
Okay.
I will take a closer look into that and I will kind of sum up your thoughts as I heard them and make the zoning requirements clear and make sure that I get those back to you so that you have a better idea of where to go from here with this. And I'll try and outline a few different options that you might have.
Maybe
Could you just ask?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry.
Is there, I don't know this because I'm not on the zoning board, but is there any issue with zoning where she couldn't have the fence be outside of that raised area? Like just out, like sitting against that versus sitting against those posts, like a relief.
Against the posts.
Got it.
Yeah, they're not.
Well, that's what it looks like, but I'm wondering if like they can come
Totally.
down and
Yeah.
at the front of that ledge.
It's just a really odd because it was a drive-through. And so.
Sure, I understand.
so
There-
the
it's
playground
definitely a
isn't
challenge.
Anything normal that
Yeah.
you would see in another setting.
It's a complicated one, yeah, for sure. Yeah. But love the idea, love the spirit behind it, so.
Sure.
yeah.
And you have fabulous taste, so I have no doubt that,
Oh,
it can be achieved, right? It's just it's challenging,
But
so we can
I'm still
empathize with
confused
that.
After all of this, I'm still confused on how high it can go, but I'm assuming that Grayson's gonna help me with all that, because I have no clarity at all on. When I walk out of here, I'm like, I guess I take the whole damn thing down and I don't know what to do at that point, because I did my best to this point. The front I'm not happy with, but that's on me because I'm visual and I have to almost see it before I can deny that I don't like it. That's who I am. I'm not a trained architect or.
In all of this verbiage, I did see, I think that lattice is appropriate and fencing and, lattice and ivy. I'm just, I haven't spent any time on this, so I think there's lots of options
Yeah.
though that you could consider.
Well, I think even if the front part has to come down and we do something much more open, then
Mhm.
you'll really love the inside.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Inside's
Inside's
fabulous.
gorgeous.
It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah, and we do struggle with having we have limited what we can plant in there because it's asphalt and concrete everywhere. You
Right,
can't plant a tree. I mean, I guess I could. try,
yeah,
but what-
you need
you
planters,
know,
sure.
Everything has to be that. And then, your choice of plants are, do they survive the winter? Those type
Right.
of things in a pot. So, That's all.
You've got your work cut out for you.
It's okay. I like challenges.
All right,
I just-
thanks for
I just
coming.
gotta
Thank you.
really-
Thank you.
No,
Thank
thanks for,
you.
thanks for coming.
Thank you all, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, administrative approvals and updates. Grayson, anything we need to know
Nope.
about?
If you guys have any questions about the administrative approvals, feel free to,
No.
happy to answer any questions there, but
Nope. Communication. Whose communication is that? Is that Tim's?
That means when people send us.
Oh, okay. Public comments? Public comments? None. And commission comments. Grayson or Scott, you comment on the signage that got approved?
Oh, yeah, sure. It got approved.
Hey.
Yeah, it got approved by the council. Well, I think one thing we suggested, and I think that DPW was there to pick up the thing is the signs are so nice and of such high quality that we're recommending that they mount them with theft-proof fasteners.
Oh, okay.
With what?
Yes.
With what kind?
Theft fasteners.
Oh.
I mean, I
That's
just,
wise.
I mean, just, I had a great week in Saugatuck and I stayed at the historic district and like
Yeah.
this aluminum sign looks
good
great,
bar.
looks great in my rec room. So,
No, that's a good point.
I mean, because they're so good, we want them to.
I
stick
would love to
around.
see them. When are they going up?
That I don't know. That was not
The,
discussed.
Concept A just reached out to their fabricator this morning, so
Okay.
have a timeline updated soon.
Should we have
hopefully.
like a little meeting at the site?
Champagne toast.
Yeah, we'll toast
Yeah.
to the
Definitely
district.
make
I think we
sure
should,
that-
we should definitely have a
Oh, yeah.
field trip
Yeah.
as a commission. And,
Yeah.
That we just have to notify it.
You
oh,
just can't talk about it. Yeah.
well, we can announce that we're having a little
There
ceremony.
you go. You
and
just
that-
invite everybody.
and then we won't violate OMA, so we can figure that
I
out.
don't think we'll have a huge crowd
It
for
can be
the,
part of the meeting.
I don't think we'll have a huge crowd for the toasting of the signage of the historic.
Why?
district.
So
Maybe.
one last question on that. There's two signs that I know of, Holland and what?
I think we added one.
Yeah, and then we were gonna put one on, Old Allegan?
Yeah, I thought it was Old Allegan.
Somewhere there,
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Mhm.
somewhere on the hill, up or down
Yes.
or something
Yep.
like that? Okay.
We approved 3, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, any other commission comments?
No.
Do I have a suggestion
To
to
adjourn. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
second? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Signify by saying yes.
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 Where's your gavel?
Got it. Oh.
Well done, Chair.
Good job, Keith.